Hi, gang, it's Adam.
And Patrick.
Coming up on today's episode, we discuss the recently released trailers for Mulan and Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. We cover the latest Disney news and stroll through Tomorrowland in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom for our series, A Walk in the Park. As always, we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Patrick 11 Kazuki.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Adam Rumpelteaser Hummel.
Rumpelteaser.
Yeah, you're a cat now.
Mungo, Jerry, and Rumpelteaser.
Oh dear.
I was obsessed with that musical as a kid.
Yeah, I think you still are.
Am I?
Sure, why not?
Is it because I'm wearing a skin-tight leotard now?
That tipped me off a little bit.
Uh-huh.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
This started out very strange.
I know, I like it.
It always does, though.
It does, doesn't it?
Well, it really does. How was your week?
Yeah, what a week.
Oh dear, what happened?
Puppy issues.
Uh-oh.
I'm dealing with some puppy issues.
Got 99 problems and a puppy is one.
As some listeners might recall on last week's episode, I got a new king-size bed.
Oh, that's true.
And this week, Penny chewed through the cord that allowed the bed head to rise up so he could sit kind of upright in bed.
No, she broke your bed already?
She did.
Oh, no.
So...
Did you slap her?
Never.
Slap her right in the puppy face?
Never. I kissed her little puppy mouth and I said, I forgive you, Penny.
She sounds like she's going to learn real quick from that.
And then she ate some plastic tubs under our bed. But enough about Penny.
Well, she deserved it.
How was your week, Ben?
It was great. I went and saw Coco at the Minnesota Orchestra last weekend.
How was that?
It was so good. I just cried the whole way through because I can't stop crying.
Yeah.
I'm an emotional mess 99% of the time.
Thank you for stopping just long enough to record this episode. I'm sure something in this episode will trigger you.
I'm already crying. No, it was really good. And of course, our friend Becca, Disney Kitty, her husband, plays a violin for the orchestra.
That's right.
He is so amazing. The whole orchestra is just fantastic. And this was, I believe, the very first time they had done Coco as part of an orchestral event. So that was pretty cool to see.
Anywhere, right? It was the first time Coco was done anywhere.
Inaugural performance, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. If it's coming to your town, go see it. Get tickets now.
And we should say, if anybody's coming to Minneapolis for any reason, check out our orchestra. We have a world-class orchestra.
We sure do. I believe it's in the top 10, right? Maybe even top 5.
In a beautiful, refurbished orchestra hall.
It's fantastic.
It's like a jewel box.
It is like a jewel
box.
I love it. Yeah, it's really beautiful. And of course, I went to the Disney store today.
That's just every day, isn't it?
That's every day. That's every day of my life. Every day of my life. They had the release of the Toy Story 4 key.
Oh.
So I went and got that and then spent $1 million at the Disney store. I have to sell my home. So we have to get a new studio.
We'll just record inside the Disney store.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
All that plush will muffle any kind of outside noises.
It's true. We won't be so echoey and tinny.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should do is we should take all your plush and just build a dome around our recording table.
Yes.
And that way we can block out any outside noise.
Just one big Mickey blanket of plush.
Well, why not?
I like it.
Okay.
You're a thinker.
Yep.
A problem solver even.
Well, Patrick, we have to recognize a couple of new listeners that we have.
You better recognize.
That's right. Kim, who you can find on Instagram at Kim started listening to the podcast, and she had some very thoughtful things to say. So, Kim, welcome to GDTD.
I imagine not Kim Chi, the drag queen.
No.
Okay. I'm just as excited.
Yes, she seems lovely.
Great.
We also have to say thank you to relatively new listener Ryan, who you can find on Instagram at Space Ranger Ryan.
I love that name.
Who sent us such a sweet message last week. So welcome, Kim, and thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, Kim and Ryan. Speaking of listeners, we had some feedback from a listener from our last week's episode, Aaron Tornado Disney. Love that name. He sent us a comment on our story about The Little Mermaid and some of the feedback that Halle Bailey has been receiving, the negative feedback.
Yeah.
And he sent us a little note, of which I'll read a little bit of. So he writes us saying, I appreciate you guys covering The Little Mermaid. My first thought when everything went to hell with the news of Halle being cast was, what do my good Judies at GDTD have to say. Oh, Aaron, I love you. I am so thankful I did. You addressed how Ariel is purely fictional. Hallie has the vocals, the looks, the range to pull it off. These ignorant #NotMyAriel trolls have to stop, and I love how you addressed it. Being a youth and a person of color, it's sometimes hard to find characters that look like you or you can relate to. Also, she has a Jamaican crustacean. Where the freak do you think she's from and what her pigment is like? I love it. And then he ends it with 3 hair flips and a Lynethia Leaks eye roll, which I assume is Nene Leaks from The Real Housewives. Thank you so much for writing in, Aaron. I have to say, after I did that report, my little tangent, I felt a little weird about it. Like, did I say this right? Is it my place as a white male to be, to get on this pedestal for this? And I think we're fine, right?
Listen, I am proud of that full-on Julia Sugarbaker moment you had last week.
I lost my mind a little bit.
You were like, and that is the night that the lights went out in Georgia. It was so great, Patrick. So don't feel bad about it at all. Not
Fair.
one little bit.
Thank you.
And I think we take that certainly as white males for granted. What he's saying, like, we are not people of color.
We're not?
So we're not.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of red these days, but that's just sunburn.
Yeah.
But we were very fortunate and privileged to be able to have grown up with these animated characters that were just white. We didn't have to even give it a second thought.
Yeah.
But think about all the kids who do not have an animated character that truly represents them.
Not many.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when we were growing up.
Exactly.
So it's wonderful that we're finally seeing that, not only like with Tiana, Pocahontas, characters like that, but now with these live action movies, little kids are getting the opportunity to see someone like themselves up on screen. It's very, very important.
Right. It's about time we have these fictional characters be represented by anybody, right? Like, why the frick not?
Right. I think we are kind of more maybe used to it than the general public, the non-theater going public, just because we're so lucky to see plays, which essentially tend to have a little bit more colorblind casting, right? Like we
more and more
see
so
shows.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see more shows now often that do not have that kind of restriction of an all-white cast.
Yes.
And they'll open up the casting to persons of any color.
Well said. Well said. Well, thank you, Aaron, for writing in. We actually had quite a few people write in with the same sentiment, so I really appreciate that. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your comments. Something else we should mention, Adam. We, as you listeners know, we recently were interviewed by our friend Lou from Disney BR Podcast, all the way from Brazil.
Yes.
We didn't go to Brazil, but we did a phone interview with her.
I wish we had gone to Brazil.
I mean, she did invite us to come visit her.
You're right.
We have to do that before she moves to Michigan.
It's like in 2 weeks, Patrick. We're
all right. All my bags are packed. I'm ready to go. Are you listening, Lou? Send us out there. We'll take care of your home there while you're in Michigan.
Oh, that's a good
It's a really good idea. No, so her episode with us on it did drop this past week. I believe it's episode 36.
That's right.
If I'm correct.
Yep.
So if you want to, go ahead on over to wherever you listen to your podcast and look up Disney BR Podcast. And we are on episode 36, a couple minutes in, and we talk for about 40 minutes, which is pretty usual for us.
I would say that's like a snippet of a conversation for us.
It's true. It's just a blink of an eye.
Can't stop us from talking.
Also, if you want to head over to YouTube, our friend Becca, who is Disney Kitty, Kittee, recently did an unboxing episode where she opens one of our t-shirts that we sent to her. She had some nice things to say about it. The t-shirt looks great, by the way.
It does.
She got the pink That Dole Whip, though, t-shirt.
Yeah, that baby pink.
Yeah.
It looks so cute.
It is super
summery.
cute.
Yeah.
And she wears a lot of pink, so it looks good on her. So thanks, Becca, at Disney Kitty on YouTube, and she's also Disney Kitty on Instagram as well. Give her a follow. I'm going to continue talking, Adam.
Just stop.
I'm never going to stop
When's
talking.
it my turn?
I'm going to take off my shoes and my blouse. There we go.
There you go.
Now I'm comfortable.
The shorts were already off, by the way, people, in case you were wondering.
Oh, I'm just like Donald. I never wear bottoms. So we have some anniversaries to talk about.
Great.
Actually, 2 anniversaries and a little bit of a birthday.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with the newest one, one that I have not seen. Planes, Fire and Rescue turns 5 years old on July 18th. It was released in 2014.
Congratulations, Planes, Fire, and Rescue. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it sure is.
Okay.
Can I talk to you a little bit about the cast, though?
Yeah.
Regina King,
Ooh.
Terry Hatcher,
Oh.
Julie Bowen from Modern Family.
Sure, she has a great voice for animation.
She's got a great voice.
Yeah.
Ed Harris. And
Oh, my gosh.
Dane Cook. What? How did they get all those names to be in a movie that one person saw?
Oh, are any of those A-listers? They're not.
Regina King? Could I have said that any higher in my register?
I love Regina King.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider A-list, though.
At least B+.
Did you watch her in season 2 of The Leftovers on HBO?
No.
Oh.
I'm the worst.
Check it out.
Okay, I will.
She's so good.
I mean, we only need to watch Ray to see her performance in that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, she's a talent.
She's an A-lister. Get out of town, Adam.
A-list in my book.
I'm going to kick you in the
In
A-list.
Hollywood, maybe not so much. But Regina King, I love you.
I love you, and you're an A-lister in my book. Adam hates you. Moving on. One of my very favorite movies is turning 26 years old. 26 years old.
I feel nauseated already by what you're about to say.
Hocus Pocus. Oh, man.
I always forget that was released in the summer. So weird.
Yeah. Because it was up against Nightmare Before Christmas, right? Didn't they come out the same year?
Oh, did they?
I think so. I might be wrong on that. Listen, if I'm wrong, we'll do a sorry about it later, but I'm rarely wrong. Let's remember that.
Disagree.
Okay, well.
Disagree.
So, Hocus Pocus was released on July 16th, 1993.
That's me mom's birthday.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Happy birthday that's in like a couple days.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Aw. Speaking of your mom's birthday and Hocus Pocus, I just got the Hocus Pocus Spirit jersey at the Disney store today.
Oh my gosh.
I
I didn't
love
even
it.
realize was it new?
It is, I think it's new. I have never seen it before. And I was like, what is that?
Wow.
Just caught my eye in the corner. It's purple.
Yeah.
And it says Hocus Pocus on the front. And then it says Sanderson, Amok 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 on the back.
Oh, I think I have seen that now that you mention it.
It's really cute.
I remember the amok 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 part.
I wonder if it came out last year because it was the 25th anniversary last year.
Sure.
Boy, we are on weird trains today.
Trains and planes and fire and rescue.
Look what you did there.
Trains, planes, and fire and rescue.
That was almost English. So those are our anniversaries for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, July 17th, 1955, a very big event happened.
Yeah.
Disneyland opened.
How about that?
64 years ago.
The asphalt wasn't even dry yet.
Women's heels were sticking to the streets. People were covered in tar, basically.
Sure were.
And nobody could go on a ride because they were too hot.
I believe the bathrooms weren't functioning properly. The paint was still wet on some of the buildings.
Yeah, it's like going to my house, really. It's just a mess.
There's a little bit of home renovation, but none of it is really done.
None of it's ever going to be finished. Ever. So happy birthday, Disneyland.
Happy birthday, you magical, magical place. The place that started it all, Patrick.
You sound upset about this.
No,
even though you hate Disney World and love Disneyland.
I'm trying to be reflective and like...
Oh, it's coming across as pensive.
Oh, no.
And apprehensive.
No, not at all.
Okay. It might be the cat suit that you're wearing.
It's restricting
It is.
in places.
Oh, dear.
I won't go into details.
Please do not.
But we have a couple of trailers that came out last week that we have to talk about, Patrick.
We must.
First up,
Yes.
we have the teaser trailer that was released for the live-action version of Mulan.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, give me your thoughts.
I mean, so beautiful.
Wow.
Jaw-dropping beautiful.
It looked like a painting.
Yeah.
Everything they were showing us was a painting.
I hate to compare it because it's going to make me... I'll just say it. It reminded me a lot of when I first saw the trailers for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, sure.
Just how beautiful it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that's...
It's not problematic
No,
to
I don't
compare
think
it.
so.
Okay, good.
What struck me most about it was the beautiful use of lighting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, I think so too.
And fierce. She looks fierce, like extra fierce in it.
Yeah, she is beautiful, but you just by looking at her, you can tell that she's gonna kick some A in this movie. Man alive. I'm so excited to see another woman in power movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So exciting. And I'm glad actually it's not going to be a musical. It doesn't need to be. This story needs to be told without any help, I think.
It's interesting in the trailer how they incorporated an orchestral version of Reflection.
Yeah, just ever so slightly.
It was very moving.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wonder if they're going to do the other songs in the movie too, if they're just going to have them kind of be orchestral moments in the film as opposed to a sung moment.
Right. Maybe they'll do I'll Make a Man Out of You with a solo saxophone. Don't you think? It would be real fitting.
Are you referencing Miss Saigon right now too?
Maybe.
You are all over Asia right now, my friend.
Listen. I like it. What can I say?
Well, I will admit that I was a little bit skeptical about a live-action Mulan, but now having seen the teaser trailer, I'm probably the most excited I have been for any of the live-action movies I've seen yet.
I'm so glad that they took the fans' comments and remade this movie, because the original version, I think, was going to be a mess, and this looks really beautiful.
Anyway, I can't wait to see this movie.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, I can tell.
And there's several of our listeners who also can't wait to see this. Bart, who you can find on Instagram at ParkHopperBart, said, so excited. After watching the trailer, I'm not even mad that the songs from the animated film are not going to be in it. It looks amazing. Derek, who you can find on Instagram at Derek_Sitch, said, I love the darker vibe this trailer gives. I'm curious if any of the more silly characters and scenes are also in this movie, though. Excited either way. Jonathan, who you can find on Instagram at CelticTigger83, said, visually, the trailer is stunning. It had a hero-esque quality about it, and I love the grittier vibe. That being said, I'm not overly thrilled with the possibility of Mushu or the original music being left out of the film. Mushu. What do you think, Patrick? Is Mushu going to be an element, or is it just going to be kind of like a wink to the audience moment?
There might be like a little Easter egg moment, but
yeah.
I don't need there to be a talking dragon in this movie.
And this comment really struck a chord with me, Patrick. Diamond in the Rough Clothing Company on Instagram said, I did not see myself on TV a lot when I was growing up. I made it a point to learn any Asian actor's name whenever I saw them, even if they had one line in a movie. Mulan was one of the few times I felt like I saw Asians at the forefront of the movie that were propelling the story instead of being a plot device to a white character.
Interesting.
This movie looks like it's taking a darker take with a deeper character exploration. Mulan, who clearly is divided on her duty to family and country, is a great example of why we shouldn't let gender norms stop us.
Wow, well said.
Yes, very well said.
It's exciting that we're living in a time now where this is all finally happening.
Right.
Although I have to say, finally.
Right.
I mean, it's been way too long since we've seen anybody other than white people on screen.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's insanity that it's taken so long, but thank goodness that it's happening. And congratulations, Disney, for taking a stand and making this a moment in history that people are going to remember, I think.
Speaking of a moment that people are going to remember, the trailer for Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, also came out.
Oh, dear.
What did you think about this one, Patrick?
Didn't love the segue into it, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a fine movie.
Yeah.
I don't know that I need to see it on opening day, but we probably will.
We're going to talk about it on the podcast.
We do have to talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
It, again, like the original, it looks beautiful. I have a feeling the script's going to be a mess. It already is a mess in the trailer, I think. So that doesn't leave much hope for a full movie. So we'll see. I'm not usually that negative, and I just didn't find anything that I loved about it.
That's fair. You don't have to be positive all the time, Patrick. You're a human being.
I am a human being, or am I? I'm E.T.,
Yikes.
actually.
Yikes. I was kind of intrigued after the teaser trailer dropped, but there was too much talking in this trailer, and I think it spoiled it a little bit for me. I was like, less talking, more pretty visuals. That's what I want.
I think it might suffer from Dumbo, where the script ruined the movie. Would have been a great movie without words.
I mean, we'll see it, though. We will see it, and we'll report back.
I will watch it. I may not listen to it, but I will watch it.
No, we'll give it a fair shake.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, as usual, our listeners had some things to say about the trailer.
I'm certain.
Liberty, who you can find on Instagram at Iron_Daredevil, said, OMFG, I can't wait.
Wow, okay.
She's super into it, yes.
Good.
Damien, who you can find on Instagram at DamienDaz, said, nobody asked for this movie.
Shade. That is shady.
LOL. What people are actually asking for is a Gargoyles movie.
Oh, okay.
Damien.
Okay, I like where you're going. Yas Queen.
Daniel, who you can find on Instagram at DancoDirect, said, I just want to give Angelina Jolie a big hug.
Aww.
And I have a feeling Michelle Pfeiffer needs to be slapped.
Oh, my.
That's like you, Patrick.
Slap her. Just slap her right across the table. Careful if you hug Angelina Jolie, though, because those cheekbones are going to cut you. They're going to cut your face right open.
Yep. And lastly, Rodri, who you can find on Instagram at RodMeetsWorld, said, ugh, I'm just not as thrilled anymore. It looks like Maleficent is just going to be petty that her quote-unquote child is getting in-laws. Like, we saw this in Monster-in-Law.
That's really funny. Okay, so we're a mixed bag of emotions with this movie.
I think people are less excited for Maleficent overall.
Yeah, I think the thing is I just don't care about this movie. It's one of those movies that's just like, okay, it's a movie. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have any importance to me.
Well, we'll find out.
We are going to find out.
Also dropping last week, Patrick, the kids say dropping.
Oh, okay.
Also dropping last week was the song Spirit from the Lion King soundtrack as performed by Beyoncé.
One Beyoncé.
Yes.
In fact, the whole album, I believe, is out now.
But this song, while included on the soundtrack, is also part of a special project that Beyoncé did in conjunction with the movie. Isn't that right? It's like taking African artists and kind of creating a companion piece for the music from the film.
Sure. Did you listen to it?
I did.
What'd you think?
I love a song with a choir in the background.
You do, it's true.
And a big old key change at the end of it. And this song had both.
This is why you love Sister Act.
You are not lying when you say that. I totally love Sister Act. It reminded me of Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I got that kind of vibe, but only because of the choir and like the key change. And
I can see that.
I thought it was beautiful.
Did you listen to the rest of the soundtrack as well?
I'm not going to listen to the soundtrack.
Same here. I did listen to that one song, and it reminded me more of like an end credits song.
Oh, it's totally an end credits
That's what
song.
I'm thinking. But I don't know. I haven't listened to the whole soundtrack yet. I wasn't as impressed as I wanted to be with it. I liked it, and it was pretty. But I was thinking when I was listening to it, like, I can't imagine being blown away in the movie with a song like this. But it was good.
I have a feeling if it is included in the film, it won't necessarily be sung by a character.
Sure.
I think it will be like more of an atmospheric
background
song,
situation.
Or like Nala's quote unquote singing it in her mind as they're like frolicking or something like that. But you're right. I mean, it was pretty.
Yeah.
It's a very pretty song.
Yeah.
Not necessarily super memorable.
No.
And also kind of has an anticlimactic ending.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if it's included in the soundtrack or not.
We will. Like I said, I haven't listened to the soundtrack either, but I was talking to a couple of our listeners, JT, and also one of our ATLDs, Kale. JT said he loved it, so I'm excited about that. I trust his opinion. And Kale liked it as well, but he said that a lot of the moments, even like in the beginning, Circle of Life, sounded like they almost just lifted it right from the old movie and put a new singer in front of it.
Interesting.
And I was like, okay, that makes sense, I guess. Why recreate a perfect wheel if you don't have to? So we'll see. I'm excited to listen to it and to see it with the movie, or hear it with the movie, I guess.
Speaking of, we are seeing it next week, and we'll have a spoiler-free review of The Lion King.
I'm so excited.
On next week's episode. So we'd like to put a call out there to all of our listeners. If you're going to be seeing The Lion King next Thursday or Friday, please write into us and let us know your thoughts on the movie.
Please do. You can email us at info@gaysdothed.com.
Or you can reach out to us on social media at GDTD Podcast.
Adam, what do you Beyoncé? We get into the news.
That was really good.
Thank you so much. According to WDW News Today, a few of the Disney Skyliner stations are set to open on or around August 28th, just before the official opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios.
Well, that's smart timing.
I mean, who'd have thought? Good job. The Hollywood Studios line, the Caribbean Beach Resort line, and the Art of Animation / Pop Century line are expected to be the first Skyliners up and running. Very exciting. Disney has not yet officially announced this, which is probably smart because who knows what's going to happen. But it has been stated implicitly that the Epcot line will not be ready by the end of August. And, of course, the Riviera Resort station won't be open until later in the year because that resort itself is not up and running.
So did they say by August 28th and not on August 28th?
Well, Disney hasn't said anything yet.
Right.
But the report says that they're trying to get it done on August 28th.
Okay.
But that's not a firm date.
Okay, so maybe, just magically.
Are you thinking while we're there?
Yeah.
Yeah, for gay days?
Wouldn't that be fun?
Can you imagine all those gays in the sky? They'll have to call it the Guyliner.
Last week, Disney announced the opening dates for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, the immersive multi-platform attraction in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in both Disneyland and Walt Disney World.
I'm so excited.
At last, the lands will be complete. For now.
Oh my.
Was that ominous?
No.
Oh.
It was vomitous.
I should have said complete like the Emperor says it. Complete. Anyone who watches Star Wars, that's spot on. That is a spot on Palpatine.
I have shivers. But that's because I'm not wearing any clothes.
First to open will be Walt Disney World's attraction, opening on Thursday, December 5th, 2019, which also, Patrick, as you know, happens to be Walt Disney's birthday.
I love it.
Disneyland's version of the attraction will open next year on Friday, January 17th, 2020.
So Disney World is opening first.
That's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, the article on Disney Parks blog said that the Imagineers are going to focus on the Walt Disney World attraction first, and they're all going to head back to Disneyland to open that attraction.
I guess that makes sense, knowing that the big anniversary is coming up, and they probably want to get everything as complete as they possibly can. So to focus on Disney World makes a little bit more sense.
When it opens, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance will be the most immersive and advanced attraction ever imagined in a Disney park. It will blur the lines between fantasy and reality and will put guests in the middle of a climactic battle between the First Order and the Resistance. Mm-hmm. Guests will be recruited to join Rey and General Organa at a secret base. Along the way, they will be captured by a First Order Star Destroyer. With the help of some heroes of the Resistance, they break out and must escape the Star Destroyer, protect the secret base, and stay one step ahead of Kylo Ren.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm wildly excited about this.
I can tell by your voice right now.
I'm wildly excited about this.
There it is.
Just the fact that they're billing this as the biggest Disney attraction that's ever been built gets me really, really excited.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm a selfish queen. Mm-hmm. And now that the release date has been set, I'm hoping this will keep people away until they can see the whole park.
Sure.
And so then I can explore Galaxy's Edge all by myself.
Well, Patrick, in Disneyland, crowds have actually been quite low. Have you heard this?
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
I think this is why. I think people are just waiting until they can spend their money and see the whole park as a complete park, as opposed to just seeing some of it.
So maybe Walt Disney World's crowds will be low too.
That's what I'm thinking as well. I'll be there in November for the Run Disney event, and it'll be open by then. So who can say? And it'll be open at 6 a.m. as well.
Extra magic hours.
Extra. So by the time I see it with you, you'll have seen it 37 times, right?
No, come on.
Whatever. You keep talking about it, and it's making me sad.
No. When I see it with you in Disneyland, it will be the second time I will have been there.
Well, that's too many times, Adam. It's not fair. Adam, this next story is right up your back alley, and I'm surprised. Wait, what?
I don't normally...
Is that not the saying?
The back alley's not open for business.
Oh.
It's been blocked off.
That's not what it says in the bathroom in Disney.
That's not...
Oh, dear. Well, as you know, Adam, the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland will be turning 50 years old, just like you, this August.
I'm 40, and that was rude.
Ooh.
But I love a comparison between me and the Haunted Mansion.
Okay. I'm glad you could tease out a compliment in there somewhere. In celebration of this event, Disneyland will be hosting a new exhibit in the park called Happy Haunts Materialize, and they will host 2 separately ticketed after-hours events, the Haunted Mansion celebrating 50 years of retirement unliving. The Happy Haunts Materialize exhibit will be in the Disney Gallery and will give a behind-the-scenes look into the concepts, creation, and evolution of the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland. Some of the designs will feature original ideas that never came to be, like the original walkthrough version of the attraction. You'll also see artwork that inspired the ride as we know it today, and figures created as models for the ghosts that haunt the mansion will be in the collection as well.
I hope this is still open when we visit in October.
I imagine it will be.
Great.
Because I feel like they keep those up for a while. Especially, it sounds like it's going to be a pretty big to-do. So I think it'll be open.
Well, I'm excited to see it.
As for the after-hours event, the Haunted Mansion, celebrating 50 years of retirement unliving, there are 2 dates you'll be able to attend the separately ticketed party, August 7th and August 8th. Both parties cost $299, and you are limited 1 ticket per reservation, and you can only get those tickets online, not by calling and not at the door.
This has to be sold out by now, right?
I went in and tried to get a ticket, and it said that you still could.
Oh.
Just to see if they were still available.
Yeah,
so who knows?
Okay.
Hard to say, but they will sell out, I imagine. But at $299, oof, it's a big price. But this is like a once-in-a-lifetime moment in history, so maybe that's what they're thinking. So the event will start at 1 a.m., which is pretty unique for Disneyland, and it will go until 4 a.m. At 1 a.m., the 13th hour, Madame Leota will make a special appearance at the Rivers of America, conjuring up the spirits to kick off the party that you will be able to mingle with throughout the night. Special photo op locations will be available throughout the park, and limited-time Snapchat filters will be available as well. New Orleans Square, Critter Country, Frontierland, and Adventureland will all be open for guests to roam around, and attractions like Pirates of the Caribbean, the Tiki Room, Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, and Indiana Jones will be available to ride. Strangely, the website did not list the Haunted Mansion as being open. So,
can you imagine?
Well, here's the thing. This is about the time they're going to shut it down so they can reopen it as the Nightmare Before Christmas version. Can you imagine if it's not open?
I think it'll still be open. It could be one of the last few days, though, that it is actually open.
I mean, can you imagine an enormous party celebrating the ride that won't be open?
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. In addition to a commemorative event memento that apparently costs $299, guests will get a guide map, event credentials, and unlimited downloads of PhotoPass photos taken at the event. And, of course, specialty food, beverages, and merch will be available for purchase. As I said before, tickets can only be purchased online while supplies last, so head on over to the Disneyland website or go to the Disney Parks blog for more information and a link to get your tickets. I would love to do this. Let's take a 7th trip out there. Why not?
Over the past few months, we've been spoon-fed the titles of shows coming to Disney+, Disney's streaming service launching on November 12th, 2019. That's coming up so soon, Patrick.
I'm so excited.
On Saturday, July 6th, Walt Disney Television Animation News, a fan-run Twitter account, posted that an Oswald the Lucky Rabbit series was in the works for Disney+.
That's exciting.
It is.
I wonder if they'll bring him back to the parks then. Didn't they just recently remove him from the parks?
He's back in DCA now.
He is.
Yes.
So he was just on a little vacation.
Yeah, I don't know why he was taken away for a bit, but he's back now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I bet there was a lot of uproar about it.
Oh, yeah.
It was all from you.
It was all from me. I think an animated Oswald series is a perfect addition to Disney+, particularly because of the success that the Mickey Mouse cartoons, the new Mickey Mouse cartoons have had. Mm-hmm. And Oswald's a scamp, right? Like he's more of a scamp than Mickey Mouse is.
Yeah, he's more of like a Bugs Bunny, rascally kind of a character.
Yeah, he's the character we need for these times that we're living in. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So the post by Walt Disney Television Animation News was believed to be based on a rumor, but it also included a clever logo for the supposed series. Later that same day, renowned voice actor Eric Bauza seemed to confirm his involvement with the series. Bauza is known for voicing characters in such popular series as The Fairly Odd Parents, The New Muppet Babies, Legend of the Three Caballeros, and The New DuckTales. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was created in 1927 by Walt Disney and Ub Iwerks and distributed by Universal Studios before the studio took the character from Disney in 1928, which, as we all know, led to the creation of Mickey Mouse by Disney.
Duh.
Walt Disney Company regained the rights to Oswald in 2006, nearly 80 years after Disney lost the character. So it's time they bring him back into the fold, not only as a parks character, but also as an animated character as well.
I like that. I like getting back to the roots. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm excited for this.
He speaks to me.
Do you see him right now? What's that play? What, the guy who sees the rabbit?
Harvey?
Harvey. Is he your Harvey?
You don't see him sitting next to me right now.
Oh, I'm frightened. I do see a floating hat, though.
Oh.
Exciting news for the Disney Cruise Line. They have been named the world's best cruise line by the readers of Travel and Leisure magazine. They were ranked #1 ocean cruise line carrying 2,200 passengers or more as part of the annual World's Best Awards. What?
Who reads Travel and Leisure?
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit probably does.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you, Oswald?
Oh, no.
Oh, he says he does. You're right.
This is frightening. This is frightening. So each year, readers of Travel and Leisure vote on their favorite destinations. So it's like 6 people voting. They vote on their favorite destinations, hotels, spas, airlines, tour operators, rental car agencies, cruise lines, and more. The criteria for rating a cruise line are service, staterooms, food, destinations, excursions, and value, which Disney got the highest remarks in each of those categories.
Wow.
This is just another amazing achievement among the hundreds of awards Disney Cruise Line has received since its first venture in 1998. Coming up for Disney's Cruise Line are 3 new ships, a new private island, a new home port in New Orleans, and the return of trips to the Hawaiian Islands, Puerto Rico, and Greece.
I want to go on that Greece cruise.
I want to go on so many. I just love to cruise.
Yeah.
But I've never been on a cruise.
Okay.
But we need to do this.
I think we're going to next year.
I can finally be in a situation where I wear what I normally wear, which is very little.
And to have it be accepted.
And I'll be accepted there.
You will have to dress for dinner.
I've got a black and white thong. Is that the same? There's a bow tie on it.
Not. Did you mug a Chippendales dancer to get that?
I didn't have to. I was one. I was the Chris Farley one in Saturday Night Live.
For a limited time this summer, the world-famous Disneyland Band will be joined by Mickey Mouse, Minnie, Donald Duck, Goofy, Pluto, and a parade of rarely seen Disney characters for Mickey and Friends Band-tastic Cavalcade.
That's a title.
It is a title and a half.
Mm-hmm.
The procession will take place twice daily along the parade route at Disneyland Park and will include decorated Main Street USA vehicles. So don't call it a parade, it's a procession. But it happens twice a day along the parade route.
Wow.
Got it, Patrick?
Okay, I'm on board.
Peter Pan and Captain Hook, Genie and Aladdin, King Louie, Turk, Marie, and more are among the characters who might appear on any given day. So whoever doesn't call in sick gets to be part of the procession.
Depends on how the party went the night before.
Yes.
How many of them show up.
Yep.
Got it.
Mickey and Friends Band-tastic Cavalcade runs from July 18th through August 1st, 2019 at Disneyland Park.
We're going to miss it.
We're going to miss it. I think it's going to be okay, though. I don't think it's going to be much.
You don't know.
I know. This is basically their replacement for the Sensational Parade.
Oh.
Until they get a new parade, I guess, a new daytime parade.
Okay.
Or maybe they're just not going to have a daytime parade while the Main Street Electrical Parade is running at night.
Say parade one more time.
Parade.
Okay, got it. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But no news on what's coming after this one, right?
Let's just make up a parade right now. What's the next parade, Patrick? Just string together some adjectives.
It's Donald Ducks.
Oh.
Get the duck out of my way. I'm trying to get some ice cream.
Oh.
You idiot.
Wow.
Parade.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Donald has some issues to work through.
Yeah.
The parade is his therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real angry parade you just created, Patrick.
Well, what's your parade? Smarty pants?
My parade is magic hugs and wishes.
Wow.
Phantasmic. A daytime parade for Disneyland Park.
Oof. I'm going to rain on that parade. That's all I got to say about that.
Patrick.
Yas, Adam?
I think it's time we should stand up, get away from the podcasting table, stretch our legs a little bit,
Okay.
maybe take a walk.
I have to put some clothes on.
That's never stopped you before.
That's fair. That's fair.
I am, of course, referencing our series, A Walk in the Park.
Aww.
It's time we take another walk in the park.
Let's do it.
And in fact, this will be our final walk in the park for the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World.
Oh my gosh.
Because we are talking this week about Tomorrowland.
The sun will come out. Tomorrowland. Like what I did there? Make my little Ethel Merman twist to it as well.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Seems like just yesterday we were walking down Main Street.
Yes.
And now we find ourselves in the future.
We've made a complete circle.
We have.
We've covered Adventureland. We took a stroll through Frontierland.
We sure did. Yeehaw.
We hopped, skipped, and jumped through Liberty Square.
We did.
We sashayed through Fantasyland.
I stayed. You sashayed.
Yeah, that's right. And now here we are, about to enter Tomorrowland.
The world of the past, really. Ironically.
It is probably the land that has seen the most change of any land in a Disney park.
True, although it looks the most dated, in my opinion.
It's tough. They really painted themselves into a corner with Tomorrowland.
They literally painted themselves in a corner with that one.
They have to constantly keep it updated, but they can't do it.
I will say that Tomorrowland, in my opinion, has the biggest Walt Disney signature on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is the one place he was the most passionate about when it came to designing the Magic Kingdom and Disney in general. He really loved the future, right? He was a big advocate for progress.
That's right.
And so Tomorrowland and Disneyland, anyway, was his sort of appeal to have a futuristic land before Epcot was conceived, right?
That's right, Patrick. In fact, on the opening day of Tomorrowland in Disneyland, Walt Disney referred to it as a vista into a world of wondrous ideas signifying man's achievements, a step into the future with predictions of constructed things to come. Tomorrow offers new frontiers in science, adventure, and ideals, the atomic age, the challenge of outer space, and the hope for a peaceful, unified world.
I love that. That's kind of what he was all about.
He was all about progress, wasn't he?
And like I said, ironically, for this land that's all about progress, it feels like it's the most dated and needs the most updating.
Right.
In any of the parks at Magic Kingdom specifically.
I'm about to say something that may cause people to truly hate me more than they do now.
I was going to say, don't they currently?
Tomorrowland is my least favorite land.
It is.
In the Magic Kingdom.
Okay. Why do you say that?
There's nothing for me there to do.
It's true. You hate Space Mountain.
In Walt Disney World, I hate Space Mountain. I'm not into shopping.
You're not into shopping. You hate fun.
I like the idea of a retro-futuristic Tomorrowland. Let's just keep that, as opposed to kind of always pushing it into what we think the future is going to be. Let's just throw it back to a retro-futuristic look and keep it there.
It's kind of what they've done.
Yeah.
So a wish granted.
I guess my issue now is that it's a retrofuturism of 1996 idea of the future.
Sure.
And I want a retrofuturism from like 1955's idea of the future.
Got it. So you wanted them to keep it the way it was before they updated it.
Let's take it all the way back to that pristine, white, futuristic look.
Well, speaking of, let's get into a little bit of the history of Tomorrowland.
Let's do that.
And then take a walk. So the first iteration of Tomorrowland, of course, opened when Disneyland opened in 1955. It was the last land to be finished in the park, and only a handful of its planned attractions opened at that time. The theme park of that land was to represent the future in the year 1986.
Nailed it.
Just crushed it. Crushed it. And then, of course, Walt Disney World's Tomorrowland opened on October 1st, 1971, and just like the Disneyland version, it opened unfinished. Only the Grand Prix Raceway and the Skyway to Fantasyland were available attractions on opening day, and it was described as a barren and sterile land with just 2 attractions and an outdoor food court. Oh boy.
So there were auto emissions and sky buckets to Fantasyland.
Exactly. It just the stuff nightmares are made of.
Tomorrow. What a wild idea.
They tried so hard and did not succeed right away. But later that year, the Tomorrowland Terrace, America the Beautiful, and Flight to the Moon would open, completing the first phase of Tomorrowland for Walt Disney World.
So I wasn't there to experience Tomorrowland 1.0, right? I experienced like subsequent versions of it, but I was not there for opening day because that was 1971 and I was not born yet. Patrick, don't even say it. Okay. I was not born yet.
Okay.
But one thing I do remember about it that was there when I first experienced Tomorrowland was that pristine white futuristic look, right? And I remember vividly the gate to Tomorrowland, which was gorgeous. It were these 2 columns, kind of gradated columns that shot up into the air very high. And at the top of them were kind of like sculptures, very simplistic sculptures of spaceships, and then waterfalls shooting down from them, almost to look like a jet stream from behind the ships.
Sure.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of that.
I wish they would bring that back.
Who knows? I mean, I feel like they're always going to evolve it a little bit here and there.
Right, but that's what stands out in my mind most vividly from my first experience of Tomorrowland in Walt Disney World.
I like it. 50 years ago.
Stop it.
So in the next 2 years after opening, If You Had Wings and the Plaza Pavilion, which was an open-air restaurant, would open. And finally, in 1973, the plans for Tomorrowland were finalized, making construction between then and 1975 a very common sight. In 1974, Starjets, which was a spinner ride, would open, and the Space Bar. And then finally, in 1975, both Space Mountain and the Carousel of Progress would open on January 15th. This would be the very first Space Mountain, and it was also the very first indoor roller coaster in Florida, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It was also the first roller coaster to have a computer-aided design and zoning to have 8 trains on the track at the same time.
That scares me.
Kind of frightening.
Yeah.
So between 1975 and 1994, very little changed in Tomorrowland. It was very white and blue. I think that was the color scheme, right?
Yes.
And it kind of stayed the same
Right.
for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So then, in 1994, basically the entire land got a facelift,
Right.
a little refurbishment. A few new attractions were added, some were taken away. The color scheme got a facelift as well, so it changed from the mostly blue and white look to a very metallic palette, purples and
Blues, gold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very shiny now,
Yes.
and it got a new soundtrack
Sure
as
did,
well.
yeah.
I kind of like it. I know that you are more of a simplistic, stark walls,
Yes.
no fun, no color.
I like things to look like a mental institution,
Yes. You like sort of the Arkham Asylum kind of a
Yes.
treatment.
but a clean Arkham.
Yes.
You know, like scrub it clean.
I actually like the color scheme to it now. It's a little Dr. Seussy sometimes.
Oh, sure.
It's a little just sort of like, ooh, that's a little too much color for me. But I do like the palette.
The palette now reminds me of when beading was very popular in the 90s when I was in high school. And I went to the bead store in the Mall of America.
Oh, my
And I bought a
gosh.
little packet of beads, and the beads were the
Yes.
exact kind of metallic-y maroon and blue and gold.
It's sort of a little bit of a shimmer on it.
That's right. It's got that kind of opalescence coating on it. So, yeah, that's what I think of every time I walk into Tomorrowland. I'm like, oh, there's that bead sack.
That. oh boy. What did you make with your beads? Did you just buy a tube of beads?
You made bracelets.
You did?
Or you'd put them on a safety pin and then put it on your shoelace.
Wow. You were the first safety pin.
Now, I wasn't the first, but I made it a popular look.
You sure did.
Yeah.
If I don't get a beaded necklace for my next birthday, don't bother being my friend anymore.
Are you into puka shells as well? Because I'd like to do a hybrid necklace for you.
When am I not into puka shells?
Right.
That's all I wear sometimes. Like literally all I wear.
Yes, I've seen it.
So the theme of the land also got a little bit of a change. It went from being thought of as a showcase of future technology to a working city of the future.
It's like a spaceport.
It is like a spaceport. I like it.
And it was kind of meant to draw inspiration from kind of classic sci-fi at the same time, like Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers. And you can see that. Like, whenever you think of those, like, guns from those old black and white sci-fi shows.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It kind of has that same sculptural look, or the kind of, like, stacked ball look
Yes.
that you see a lot in Tomorrowland.
Yes. It also reminds me of the old, like, Star Trek episodes.
It is very Next Generation.
Original Star
Oh,
Trek,
I think of
mean.
Next Generation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Their suits, the color, I can see
Yeah,
that, but
yep.
more like the feel and the retro style
Yeah,
of
okay.
the original Star Trek. So it reminds me of that, especially
Yeah.
in Space Mountain.
Oh, yeah, sure. I think one thing that really sets Tomorrowland apart from all the other lands in Magic Kingdom is the movement, right? Like, from the moment you walk into the land, whether it's Astro Orbiter or the People Mover, you're seeing things move above you, around you. Something's always moving around you in Tomorrowland.
Yeah, it's very busy. It's very Jetsons.
Yes, that's a great way to describe it.
Thank you so much. So that's a brief history
Yeah,
of Tomorrowland. What do you say we start a walk around the park?
let's do it.
Okay. What do you want to start
it.
with?
Let's talk about those attractions.
Attractions, though, of which there are quite a few.
Let's start with that Astro Orbiter.
That Astro Orbiter, though.
As you said, it opened as Starjets in 1974. And like Dumbo, it's a spinner ride
Yeah, it's basically Dumbo in space.
and faster than Dumbo. I will say that.
Is it?
Yes.
Does it just seem faster?
No, it is actually
Oh, it
faster
is.
than Dumbo.
I have never been on it, so I need to go on that in August.
Yeah, we should do that. It offers beautiful views of the Magic Kingdom at night.
I imagine I want to sort of take my GoPro on it and
yeah.
just get a little video.
Yeah, slow-mo GoPro video.
Say that 3 times fast.
Slow-mo GoPro, slow-mo GoPro, slow-mo GoPro.
Okay, great. We've done that.
On the downside, it's a slow loading ride.
Yeah, because don't you have to take like an elevator to get up
You
to it?
do.
That seems silly.
It can take a while.
Yeah, I imagine. It's 60 feet above the ground, isn't it?
Yikes.
Yeah, that might make my nose bleed.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to experience it, though.
I'm excited to throw up on a kid.
Next up, we have Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin.
We sure do. Kind of the OG Midway Mania.
Oh, that's a great way to describe it.
I know.
Yeah, you and Buzz are trying to save the universe from the evil Emperor Zurg.
Which is Buzz's dad.
Is it really?
I mean, isn't that what we learned in the third movie?
Spoiler alert. Oh yeah, did they have like a Darth Vader moment?
They did.
Also, Darth Vader is Luke's dad.
Because Vader means father in German.
Look at you.
Thank you. I know things.
Look at you. In Space Ranger Spin, you shoot lasers at targets and spin your car. So you do. I mean, yeah. You spin. You spin in Space Ranger Spin.
You do spin. This was the original site, correct me if I'm wrong, of If You Had Wings, which then turned into If You Could Fly, and then that closed in 1989.
Yeah, and then it was Delta Dreamflight.
Is that what it was?
Delta Dreamflight.
Interesting.
I loved Delta Dreamflight.
What was that?
It was basically like you boarded a plane.
With Delta Burke?
Yep.
Okay.
This episode is designing women heavy.
Most of them are. Most of them are.
It was obviously sponsored by Delta. You boarded a plane and you kind of flew through different cities, like vignettes of different cities.
Oh, like Soren?
No, it was more like a dark ride. You'd kind of be in an omni mover and ride past different kind of heavily perspective views of cities.
Okay.
So like you'd fly through Paris and then you'd fly through Tokyo and you'd see like in Tokyo you'd see cherry blossoms in a beautiful ornamental bridge. You know? So it was very atmospheric and beautiful and I loved it.
So it was like a mix between Spaceship Earth and Soren.
But more Spaceship Earth, but you're right, yeah.
Right, just I mean like by going through cities the way that Soren does.
Yep.
The theming of it, I mean.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Have you ever been a galactic hero on Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin?
I am terrible at Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. First of all, it takes me about 10 minutes to find my laser pointer.
Yeah.
And once I figure that out, then I'm okay, but I've already lost so much time.
Okay, so you're like a grandfather getting his first cell phone on that ride.
That's 100% correct.
Okay, good.
Are you good at it?
I'm adequate. I've never gotten the galactic hero status, but I like it. I actually like this ride. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I like spinning it.
Yeah.
You know me, I like spinning rides.
That's right.
They used to give you a button if you got the galactic hero status, but now you just get a sticker.
What?
I know, but a lot of people, the sticker is the same size as the button, so they just get an I'm celebrating button and put it on the button.
Clever.
I know.
Apparently, the first room's mechanical claw and the red robot contain the highest value targets, so aim for those when you play the game.
And I think aim for the diamonds. There's different shapes that you can hit.
Oh,
I
really?
think diamond are the highest scoring ones.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it a shot when we're there in August.
That's just my little hot D tip for the day.
Next up, we have Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor.
I really like this one, actually.
I've never been in this one.
You haven't?
I've never been
I
in
think
it.
you would like it. I think you need to try it. Yeah, it's really fun.
It's similar to Turtle Talk with Crush at Epcot, right?
It's exactly the same. They use what's called digital puppetry, which is outstanding, I think. Like, I'm sure it's so simple to do, but it is so cool that you're watching these cartoons, basically, talk to you in real life.
So cast members voice the characters from behind the scenes, and then I imagine their actions are also captured so that it translates to the monster who's performing on stage in the attraction, right?
First of all, Adam, the monsters are actually there.
Okay.
Telling you jokes.
Yep.
I don't know what you mean by cast members.
Got it.
But you're correct.
Okay. And they interact with the audience, right?
They do. They have cameras, I imagine, that they can see you. It's a little interactive in that a couple people get sort of picked on a little bit by the comedians. But yeah, they are able to talk directly to you, which is kind of cool, and reference actual things that are happening in real time.
Well, I'll have to give this one a shot when we're there in August.
It's good, and the comedians are actually very good. I mean, it's obviously, a lot of dad jokes, but I love those, and it's just super funny. Something that's amazing about this space in general is that it doesn't look as enormous as it is, but it seats 400 people at a time.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy town to me.
Yeah.
It's a big people eater, and it is a nice place to go to get out of the heat.
Sure.
Because it's about a 30-minute experience, I think, from soup to nuts. So I recommend this attraction, actually. It's fun for the whole family.
I applaud you for using the phrase soup to nuts.
Thank you so much.
Next up, we have Space Mountain, which, as you mentioned, opened on January 15th, 1975.
True story.
And it was the first Space Mountain in a Disney park.
I love it.
Sadly, one I can no longer do. I was thinking, though, maybe, Patrick, I should do it in August. Like, maybe I should just give it another shot.
Try it.
Maybe my 40-year-old back will be able to handle it, whereas my 35-year-old back could not.
Who can say? Just wear a bunch of shirts just to sort of cushion you, and you'll be fine.
That's smart in August in Florida.
Yeah, it's real smart.
You love Space Mountain, don't you?
Love's a strong word. I like it.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But it's one that if I don't do it, I'm not going to be mad about it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But it's fun. It's Anna's favorite.
Yes, our friend
Very
Anna.
favorite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthew loves it too. The last time we went together, he did it maybe 4 or 5 times in one shot.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I really want to do it when they do the lights out version completely. That would terrify the crap out of me, but it would also be really exhilarating.
I don't really understand the difference between that and just regular Space Mountain because it's not really that lit to begin with.
But you can still see kind of where you're going on it. In the lights out version, you literally can't see a thing. And so every turn a surprise. I started saying it. I couldn't stop singing it. Originally, I read Space Mountain actually was conceived by Walt Disney, and it was supposed to be in Disneyland.
Oh, wow.
But they kind of ran out of money and time and resources, and so they put it on pause for a long time. And then when they were conceiving the Magic Kingdom, this was one of the first things that Walt Disney knew he wanted to put in that area. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's also the oldest roller coaster in Florida.
Get right out of here.
I will not. At least the oldest one that has not been sort of touched or redone or taken down. Yeah, very cool.
Have you ever seen it with the lights on or watched a YouTube video of the lights on version?
I have. I was on the People Mover once and the lights were on, and it is terrifying to look at. It is insane. Although it does make me feel safe because there are so many beams and pieces to it that I actually feel very safe on it, knowing how supported it is.
You don't feel less safe that your hands or head might be lobbed off at any moment by one of those beams?
That's simply not true. There is no way, but it looks exactly like you are going to get decapitated at any moment.
Next up, we have the Tomorrowland Speedway.
We sure do.
Which, as you mentioned, originally opened as the Grand Prix Raceway on October 1st, 1971. And it's a miniature raceway with gas-powered cars that can reach up to 7 miles per hour.
And boy, can you smell it.
Oh, stinky. This is a stinky one.
Why don't they turn them into electric cars? I don't understand.
That is the question that people have been asking for years and years now. It's Tomorrowland.
It is such a waste of energy.
And our lungs.
And our lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to explode one of these days.
Have you ever taken a spin on the Tomorrowland Speedway?
I've not. It does not interest me, and it seems like a real good way to get heat exhaustion. Just sitting on that big black tar raceway.
It smells so good.
In a metallic, sticky, gross situation.
Yeah.
No, not for me. Maybe I should at some point.
Sure, why not?
Maybe August is going to be our let's do things we've never done before trip.
Or I'll say hold off and do it in Disneyland, the original.
Gosh, if you say that one more time.
Well, I'm just saying that's the original, so just
Fair.
give that one a spin.
Literally.
For those that can actually drive, so adults, it's frustrating because you really need to push down that pedal to get it to move at all.
Yeah.
And you have absolutely really no control over the car itself.
No. You can drive hands-free on it because it's on its own little...
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
So for kids, I can see how it would be fun. But for adults, it's just like, why isn't this car functioning properly?
And at most, it goes 7 miles an hour, I think, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Exciting. What's funny is the track itself is about half the size that it was originally.
Can you imagine how big it used to be?
It must have taken like a full hour to get around it.
Yeah.
Of course, they removed a lot of it to make room for other attractions like the second Dumbo ride.
Yeah.
And I think they took some of it out when they put Mickey's Toontown up, which then came down. And now they didn't take any away, but they closed it for a hot second to build some support beams, I think, for Tron.
They had to kind of reroute it a little bit for Tron.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Fun fact about the Tomorrowland Speedway is that it's the only place in the park that they do not pipe music into.
Because you're so high on fumes that you actually can imagine your own soundtrack while you're driving around the track.
It's true. You're already hallucinating at the time.
That's right.
It did go through quite a few name changes. As we said before, it was originally called the Grand Prix Raceway, and then that changed in 1994 to the Tomorrowland Indy Speedway, and then they lost the Indy name, and so then they changed it again in 2008 to just Tomorrowland Speedway, with no real big upgrades to the ride itself.
And I believe it used to be an attraction with electric cars in one of the foreign parks. I want to say Tokyo Disneyland, maybe.
Oh.
And I think that attraction has since closed. And I think they brought those cars to the U.S. And I think...
oh, my gosh.
They're actually sitting backstage in Orlando at the Magic Kingdom. So I don't know if they have some plans in the future, but those cars have been sitting there for a while, if that is the case.
Wow. Come on, Disney World. Get off your A and change them. Swap them out.
Next up, a favorite of yours and mine, and most people, the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover.
I love this one.
It opened in June 1975, and as we all know, it's a 10-minute elevated, narrated tram tour of Tomorrowland, in which you go behind the scenes of attractions like Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, Space Mountain, and Mickey's Star Traders retail shop.
Paging Mr. Morrow, Mr. Tom Morrow.
And Patrick, you get to see models of Progress City, the prototype for Epcot.
I love that. I wish it would stop for a second there, just so I could get a better look at it.
Yeah.
It's such a cool exhibit. This ride is a really good one to make out on.
Oh.
Because there's that dark moment when you're going through Space Mountain that you cannot see a thing.
Yeah.
So it's a real interesting place to get a little handsy if you need to, if you know what I mean.
You know, my friend, I'm proud of you for not going more graphic with that. You really kind of restrained yourself.
Yeah, I pulled back about 10 notches. So imagine what I could have said.
Or what you do in the dark.
What happens on the People Mover stays on the People Mover.
I love People Mover.
It's great.
Seemingly, it should be just a nothing ride. I don't know why I'm so attracted to it and why I enjoy it so much, aside from the fact that it offers beautiful views of the Magic Kingdom.
Beautiful views of the castle that you kind of can't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's just relaxing is the thing.
It's another great attraction where if you need a break,
yes,
or in fact, if it's raining too, because the whole thing is covered, if it's not like a sideways rain, you can get on that thing and actually take a break during a storm.
What's cool is that the whole thing is run on magnets, basically. No motors involved.
Yeah.
Kind of neat. It's fun to do this during the day and then at night because Tomorrowland really sort of opens up at night in its coloring and all the lights that come on. And so it's fun to do it twice a day, I think.
I will say, as much as I rag on Tomorrowland not being my favorite area, at night it is gorgeous with all that neon.
Yeah, it's just like an old carnival, basically, which I love. And the sounds of it are pretty cool, too.
Next, we have Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress.
It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Sang. As you said, Patrick, it opened on January 15th, 1975, and was moved from Disneyland after it closed there in 1973.
And it moved from the World's Fair to Disneyland first.
Yeah.
And so it's just traveled quite a bit.
Isn't that interesting?
What's really weird about it is that it rotates the other way now.
I know. I wonder why that decision was made or what reasoning is behind that.
I read that it does now. Like it goes counterclockwise now, or it used to go clockwise. And I don't know why they made that decision.
So as Patrick mentioned, it was created by Walt Disney and WED Enterprises as an attraction for the General Electric Pavilion for the 1964 New York World's Fair. And in 1975, when it opened at Walt Disney World, There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow was not the song in the attraction.
True story.
They changed the song to The Best Time of Your Life.
From Dirty Dancing. Is that the one?
Different song.
Oh, okay.
But oddly enough, that song in Dirty Dancing was also written by the Sherman Brothers.
That's right. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. But now, of course, the song has been changed back to There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Written by the Sherman Brothers, as you said.
And do you know why they changed the song, Patrick?
I do not.
The reason they changed the song from There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow to The Best Time of Your Life when the attraction was moved to Walt Disney World was because GE didn't want customers to wait for a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow to buy GE appliances. They wanted them to buy appliances today. So the song The Best Time of Your Life referred to buying GE appliances right now.
That is some Mad Men advertising happening.
Yep.
Boy, oh boy.
Yep. So this is obviously an historic attraction. It takes place in 4 acts.
It does.
It opens in the 1900s, then we move on to the 1920s, then we go to the 1940s, and then we jump into the 21st century.
Do we, though?
It's been updated multiple times.
It has, but not since 1993.
That's right.
It was the last time it was updated.
That's right.
Oh, boy. and boy, does it show. What's funny about that last scene...
The sweaters.
The sweaters. But that it's supposed to be the future, but it's kind of today.
Oh, yeah.
But it's interesting that they got it pretty dead on.
Yeah.
The way that like things are voice activated now and virtual reality is a big thing. It's pretty funny that spot on of what technology looks like today is what they were predicting in 1993.
It's also weird how the little girl in the corner is watching a YouTube video of Kim Kardashian. Strange. How did they know? How did they know?
Who can say? Who can say? There's a lot of hidden Mickeys on this, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But keep your eyes open. There's a ton in the last scene, and there's quite a few spread throughout the entire show.
Patrick, did you know this is the longest running stage show in the history of American theater?
I did, which makes me laugh.
Can this be counted as American theater?
It can, because it's in America.
But robots.
It is,
robots?
I mean, theatrical is a loose word,
All
I
right.
guess.
Yeah.
Because the Hall of Presidents is technically a stage show.
Mm-hmm.
You still don't agree with that term, though.
It just seems off to me, but I get what they're saying.
Yeah. What I love about this ride is the nostalgia behind it, as we've been talking about. It was one of Walt's very favorite things that was created for Disney, and he kind of made a mandate that it never leave.
That's right.
That it's always going to be around. So I hope that it's going to get another update eventually, but I think that this is one that's going to stay around kind of forever because that's what he wanted.
We got to talk a little bit about the cast. The voice actors in this, because there's some interesting people portraying the voices of the animatronics. First up, we have the father, who's voiced by Gene Shepard, and he is the voice of the narrator in A Christmas Story.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay.
The mother, who's voiced by B.J. Ward, is the voice of Velma on Scooby-Doo, and she was also the voice of Scarlet on G.I. Joe.
Oh, of course.
The daughter, who is voiced by the best name ever, Patrick, Debbie Derryberry.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Debbie voices Jimmy Neutron.
I'm sorry, it's Ms. Derryberry?
Ms. Derryberry voices Jimmy Neutron.
What?
And Draculaura in Monster High. This one's for all my early 80s peeps out there. The young son is voiced by Peter Nelson, who played the evil visitor youth leader Brian in the 1983 NBC miniseries V and the 1984 sequel V: The Final Battle.
I mean, who doesn't remember those gems?
Did you ever see V, Patrick?
No, I'm far younger than you are.
Patrick, V.
I've seen V for Vendetta. Is that kind of the same?
Not at all.
Okay.
The grandfather is voiced by Rex Allen, who's the narrator of many Disney nature and Western productions. The grandmother in Act 4 is voiced by Janet Waldo, who voiced Judy Jetson and was the voice of Josie in Josie and the Pussycats.
I love that.
Uncle Orville was voiced by Mel Blanc, who was the voice of Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Tweety Bird, Sylvester the Cat, Yosemite Sam, Foghorn Leghorn, Marvin the Martian, all of those Looney Tunes characters, and more.
Anyone else?
Pepe Le Pew, Speedy Gonzales, Wile E. Coyote, Roadrunner, and the Tasmanian Devil.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And the radio personalities are voiced by Noel Blanc, Mel Blanc's son, who, following his father's death, voiced Elmer Fudd, the Tasmanian Devil, and Porky Pig.
Interesting.
And last but not least, Patrick, we need to talk about what used to be Stitch's Great Escape and is now a character meet and greet for Stitch.
I miss it.
What's going on? What's going on with that space?
What are they going to do there? There's so much rumor about what's going to happen there. So originally this space was Alien Encounter, right?
Well, let's go way back.
Yeah.
First it was Flight to the Moon.
Oh, fair enough.
And then it was Mission to Mars.
Yes.
And then it was Alien Encounter, yeah.
Man alive. This space is enormous.
It's probably all gutted now from what we've seen of some pictures that have been posted to social media.
Some very disturbing pictures of Stitch being stripped down to just wires and metal.
That's right.
Oh, that was terrifying.
Yeah. But it used to be kind of a circular theater, a theater in the round, if you will, where the show kind of took place in the middle of the theater.
That's exactly right. You went on it when it was the Alien Encounter, didn't you?
I did. The first time I experienced it, I went on Mission to Mars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Was it the same kind of a theater setup?
Same kind of a theater.
Okay.
Yep. But
Cool.
there was much less of a show. There was no animatronic in the middle of the theater.
Got it.
It was just like you sat in the theater and the theater, quote unquote, took off.
Okay.
And you saw in the screen above you and a screen on the floor below you kind of like a flight to Mars. And then you landed on Mars. And then, yes, I went on it when it was Alien Encounter.
The stories that people tell about going on that attraction are so funny because it terrified a generation of children.
I cried.
Yeah.
I cried and I was terrified.
Yeah.
For anyone who's been on it as Stitch's Great Escape, the workings of it are almost identical, where you got kind of locked into those seats. But Alien Encounter was a much more terrifying alien, similar to the alien in the Ridley Scott films.
Right.
It breaks out of its tube and the lights go off and you feel it stepping on the back of your seat. You feel its drool on you.
Yeah.
You feel its breath on your neck. You hear it attack a person in the catwalks and then blood falls on you. And this was all happening in Tomorrowland in the Magic Kingdom.
Can you imagine being like 6 years old, meeting Mickey Mouse, and then being terrified by an alien all in one day?
It was so scary.
That's hilarious.
If they brought that back and put it in Hollywood studios, it would be wildly popular.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I was just thinking, you know what they need to do with this? Keep it as is, but make it a Jack experience.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Where he goes into the other dimension and disappears, and then he's jumping on your seat and doing all those same things.
Yeah.
So just turn it into an Incredibles ride or experience with Jack instead of an alien.
That's a great idea.
Thank you so much. I've heard rumors that they're going to do something with Wreck-It Ralph, but those rumors have kind of stopped. They're not really talking about it at all recently.
They were hot and heavy before Ralph Breaks the Internet came out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big hit for Disney, but not as big of a hit as they wanted.
Yeah.
And so I think those rumors have kind of dissipated with the fact that maybe they don't want to invest the money on an attraction like that.
That sounds right. I'm pulling for Jack. Make it happen. Cookie num-nums.
Speaking of num-nums, do you want to talk about some dining options in Tomorrowland?
With a segue like that, how can I refuse?
Mm-hmm.
I love food.
Me too.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
So there's actually quite a few places to get snacks in Tomorrowland.
It's a very snacky land.
There's Auntie Gravity's Galactic Goodies.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been there?
I haven't.
Okay. Great. There's the Cool Ship.
Yep.
Where you can get a lot of beverages.
Yes.
And a couple of ice cream treats, I think, are there as well.
You sure can, yeah.
And then there is Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe.
Yes.
Featuring one sunny eclipse.
That's right. A quick service location.
I like that place. They serve all the foods there. You can get like a Caesar salad or a pasta or a hot dog.
That's right. I think there's 3 food bays there, and it's important to note that they don't all serve the same thing.
Yeah, look at the menu before you get into a line because some of them are only like serving chicken or whatever it is that they have in that bay.
They may all serve fries that are exactly the same, but the kind of main entrees they offer will be different in each bay.
And they do have a fixins station you can just pile up on whatever you're getting, nachos, hamburgers, whatever.
Yep.
Fuel up on that fixin station. I'm telling you that right now. When it's not too busy, this is a great place to just get out of the sun and watch the sunny eclipse show, which is actually kind of cute.
It is cute.
I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like it needs a little bit of an update, but it's still fun. It's an interesting little hidden gem within Tomorrowland.
A fun piece of non-IP in the Magic Kingdom.
That's true.
Yeah.
I wonder if he makes any appearances randomly in other Disney movies.
It would be funny if he had been like in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like he just has like a little cameo.
I'm willing to bet you that he is somewhere.
If he hasn't already, maybe I just missed it. Maybe he does. Maybe he does already.
I love that idea. I'm going to look for it. Also in Tomorrowland are the lunching pad at Rocket Tower Plaza and the Tomorrowland Terrace Cafe, of which I've never been to.
The lunching pad?
Either one.
I'm surprised you haven't gotten a Mickey pretzel at the lunching pad.
I have not.
They offer them there.
Mickey pretzels to me are more of a eat it near the castle kind of experience.
Okay.
I need to be near the castle to eat a Mickey pretzel. I don't need to be, but like if I'm in the Magic Kingdom, that's where I want to be.
The lunching pad is also currently offering the Mickey Celebration donut. Have you seen these, Patrick? The giant donuts that are all over Instagram.
I have. They're enormous.
They're just atom-sized.
It's basically 6 donuts in one donut.
I won't share it if we get it. I will not share it.
I don't need to. I'm not a big donut person. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm a big person who likes donuts.
Gosh, whatever. You know, I lied to you, Adam. I have been to the Tomorrowland Terrace Cafe.
Oh, yeah?
Because I got the dessert party on my first trip to Walt Disney World to see the nighttime show, which was Wishes at that time. And you get to sit up on the little balcony there and have a big dessert party and coffee and beverages and watch the fireworks. It's a really great place to watch the fireworks. Tinkerbell flies right over your head. It's fun. Though the desserts at these dessert parties are, they're fine.
Better desserts to be had throughout the park.
Agreed, but you can eat as many as your body can take, which I did. And then I threw up. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
So not necessarily the most memorable food options in Tomorrowland?
No, and no like reservations needed for any of them.
Yeah,
it's just sort of it's like going to a carnival. There are things to eat, but nothing to write home about.
Probably more on the traditional side of theme park food.
That's exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. All right, so we filled our bellies with all the chicken tenders and burgers and fries we can eat. Got to work it off by doing some shopping, right?
I like it. It's my cardio. Shopping and boxing.
Shoxing.
Oh, I like that.
Just combine the two.
There are actually some really fun stores within Tomorrowland, some really beautifully themed stores as well.
That's what I was going to say. They really stand out in theming in Tomorrowland. Let's just kick it off with Mickey's Star Traders.
I love it.
Yeah.
There are, fun fact, 7 hidden stitches in the wall at Mickey Star Traders.
Stitch, please.
Stitch, please. I like this store. It's cute.
It is really cute. It's really fun to see when you're on the People Mover. You just kind of like roll through it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun experience. And I'm not a big merchandise guy, as we all know, but I really like to look at all the Mickey ears.
There's
and
tons.
mini ears in Mickey Star Tour. There's a lot of options there.
Tons of options. Some that you can't really find anywhere else, too, which is neat.
There's also the wonderfully punny Merchant of Venus.
Have you been in all of these shops before?
I have,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite one?
They all kind of blur together for me, honestly, in Tomorrowland.
That's fair.
But they all are wonderfully themed. They're all just themed to tomorrow.
And each one has different items that you can only get in that store.
That's
think,
a good
too.
point, yeah.
Some of them have very specific pins that are only there and magic bands even. It's pretty fun.
And last but not least, we have the Tomorrowland Light and Power Company.
Yes.
Where you can get a bunch of cool like iPhone case covers.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff.
This is the one that you used to spill out into from Space Mountain.
Yeah.
And if you, fun fact, or just a useful tip, if you need to change out your rod, I'm talking about your fuel rod.
Okay.
There is a changing station there to do that, a swap, which is very useful.
And very Tomorrowlandy.
Very Tomorrowlandy. We should also say there is a teeny tiny shop. I believe it's called the Buzz Lightyear shop, which is basically a broom closet of a shop. But they have some Toy Story stuff there, mostly Tomorrowland apparel, though.
And that's as you exit Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, right?
It's right next to it, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than that, there's a couple of character meet and greets that are happening in Tomorrowland. There's the Buzz Lightyear meet and greet, which is fun. And Stitch, you can now just meet Stitch in what was Stitch's Great Escape. And there used to be a dance party. Is there still a dance party there?
They still have a dance party there, yeah. I'm not sure what it's themed to these days. The theming kind of changes.
Yeah, it was The Incredibles for a while.
And it was also Monsters, Inc. for a while, too.
Oh, yeah. And now I think it's just random.
Random futuristic dance party?
I think so.
Okay.
There might be a couple characters that come in and out. I think some of them still might be Monsters, Inc., like the random monsters that are in the one with the sock stuck to his back, which is really funny. Other than that, I don't really know much about the dance party. Strangely, not a big dance partier unless I'm on E.
If they had a fast pass to the dance parties, I would take it. I am always at the dance parties. It's the first attraction I hit.
It's true. You can't stop. And maybe the most popular thing in Tomorrowland is the Instagram wall.
Sadly, yes.
I mean,
yeah.
I took a picture there with Mark, one of the ATLDs. Of course, we were like, we need to get a picture. He was like, I know the spot. I was like, I know where you're going. I know where you're going with this. It's actually a really beautiful wall to take a picture at, I have to admit.
Recently upgraded.
Recently painted, yeah, it's true. You can still get the one color, or otherwise you can move over a little bit and get multiple colors in the shot.
A little pattern behind you.
Little pattern happening. So what do you think? Has our discussion changed your mind about Tomorrowland, or do you still absolutely hate it?
I don't hate it, Patrick. It's just not my favorite land.
Yeah.
I get why other people really like it, particularly if you're a big Space Mountain fan. Why would you not love that land, right? That's such a classic e-ticket attraction.
Yeah, for sure.
And a huge part of Tomorrowland. But there's just not enough there for me to really keep me there for a long period of time. When I'm in Tomorrowland, I'm usually waiting for someone who wants to go on Space Mountain.
Fair enough. I like Tomorrowland. It isn't my favorite of all the lands, but as I said before, it does, I feel like, have the most Walt Disney thumbprint on it.
Sure.
So that makes me feel good when I'm in it. It also tends to be very busy, is one thing.
Yeah.
Full of kids without parents. I feel like parents go there and like they just let their kids run around. And so it's hard not to run over a child when you're in there.
Space Mountain aside, it is a very kid-friendly area, right? Because there's Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, there's the dance party, there's meeting Stitch, there's the People Mover. So there's a lot of attractions that families can experience together, even with little children.
Yeah, there's lots to do and see there to keep you distracted for a while. So it's a successful land, I think. I'm interested to see where it's going. They are, like we said before, that it's getting a little bit of a paint job here and there very slowly. They're just sort of repainting it and like making it a little bit cleaner. So I'm excited to see if they're getting ready for a bigger transition to happen.
They've also just installed water bottle fillers in Tomorrowland, too, which is another very kind of the moment tomorrow type technology.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Are those the kind of ones that are in the queue for Avatar, the Flight of Passage?
Yep.
I love that. I'm so glad they're doing that.
Yeah.
I hate drinking fountains, and I always bring my water bottle with me. So this is right up my alley, right up my back alley. I'm not using that right
You
yet.
went back to that.
Oh, okay. I think that's the phrase. I don't know what you're thinking about.
Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts on Tomorrowland in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom.
You can always email us at info@gaysdothed.com.
Or you can reach out to us on social media at GDTD Podcast.
So I guess we have to leave the park. We're done walking through.
I know.
Aw, where should we head to next?
Where's the closest bar? I guess we head over to the Polynesian, right? And then just start drinking?
Day drinking into the night until we pass out. Responsibly, though, of course. Drink responsibly, kids. Don't drink, kids.
I'm getting a lot of messages from you right now.
I'm a mixed bag.
What if we passed out and then woke up and it was like 200 years in the future?
In the year 3000.
Okay, that's not 200 years in the future, but close.
My math is... Yep, carry the... What? I think I'm right. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
Yo, what time is it?
It's time for some quick tea.
Wow. You didn't pick up on my Hamilton reference there, did you?
I don't know Hamilton.
Get out of my house.
I don't know Hamilton.
I will slap the stupid out of you.
Sorry, everybody. I know, like, there's one part that's like Angelica, or something like that, isn't it? Isn't that what it is?
It's exactly like that.
Okay.
How very dare you?
And one shot.
Get out of here. Just stop it. I'm mad, and I don't want to be mad going into quick D, because it'll be an angry D, and no one wants an angry D.
No one wants an angry D.
No. Well, I don't know. Oh, dear. We better talk about what Quick D is before we turn everyone off. So Quick D is where Adam and I ask each other a question that we've not been privy to prior to recording, and we answer off the cuff.
That's right.
So we're going back to original Quick D.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I mean, as per usual, I don't have my question ready.
That's true.
But you're going first, so I'm hoping that your question will kind of feed my question.
So you're D-less right now.
I'm D-less like a Ken doll.
Oh, dear. All right, so I've got a D, and I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I came prepared.
Okay.
All right, you ready for my D?
Yep.
All right, Adam. Now that we're done with Walk in the Park,
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom style, answer me this.
Okay.
You have to replace a land in the Magic Kingdom with a new land.
Okay.
What you replacing?
Yep.
What you putting in there?
I'm leveling Tomorrowland.
That was so quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we just talked about it's not my favorite.
That's
so
fair. That's fair.
It is now flat.
It's clearly your least favorite. You didn't say that before.
Oh, it is my least favorite.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's my least favorite.
Okay. Great.
It's gone.
Wow.
Maybe we'll still be building the Tron coaster.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I forgot about that.
But everything else is just flattened.
Kind of like it was when it first opened.
That's right.
Just a barren open space.
We're taking it back to opening day Tomorrowland in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom.
Amazing. Okay.
And I'm replacing it with...
Yeah, what you're going to insert in that open space.
It's so big.
Oh, God.
It's like throwing a hot dog down the hallway.
Nope.
Okay.
Why is that an expression? Who throws hot dogs down hallways?
What else are you going to do on a random Tuesday when you have like no plans? No plans.
Just, you know those old days when you just threw hot dogs down the hallways?
It's after the 4th. You have a surplus of hot dogs lying around the house.
The hot dog toss.
Yeah.
You know that old Carney game?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, sorry. What are you inserting into this open space? For the folks at home, Adam has not spoken in 10 minutes.
I'm editing out the silence, Patrick. They're not going to know that. They're not going to know that. No, I think I've got a solid answer here. I've been stewing on.
Oh, dear.
No, I'm serious.
It's just the way you phrase that, a solid...
I'm being 100% sincere right now.
Okay. Hit me with that solid D.
Okay. So we've leveled Tomorrowland, right?
You have. I have not.
But keeping with the idea of like a place in time, I would like to build Vintage Land, wherein all of the attractions that have been retired, that people truly love, are brought back so you can experience classic Disney attractions in the Magic Kingdom.
That is, I have to say, and I've never said this about you before, and I don't think I ever will again, genius.
Thank you.
Genius.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I'd like to see some Horizons in that land.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to see some Generation 1 imagination in that land.
Yeah.
Really, I'm just building original Epcot.
You really are. You really are. Are you going to have the Kitchen Cabaret?
Yep, also classic Epcot, but yes, Kitchen Cabaret.
Okay. Maybe wishes will happen on the hour
Why not? Or just like change it up monthly, have a different vintage fireworks show.
I like this.
Monthly.
I'm on board with this fully.
Extraterrestrial can be a part of it.
There you go.
Yeah, bring that back.
So you don't have to level that building.
I don't. That one can stay.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, so just anything that anyone truly loves can be brought back so that people can experience it the way they did when they were a kid.
It's just like Pet Sematary.
Is it just like Pet Sematary?
It's exactly like Pet Sematary.
Oh, I feel like there's less kind of voodoo-y darkness to it, but...
I haven't seen Kitchen Cabaret, but I've heard that that's a lot like Pet Sematary.
It's almost identical to Pet Sematary. You're absolutely right.
This is a great answer. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well done, you.
Thank you.
I'm so impressed and surprised.
So what land would you take out, and what would you replace it with?
Ooh, okay. I did not come prepared. I would get rid of Adventureland.
Wow.
I know.
You fool.
I know. I just don't like the Jungle Cruise.
Okay.
And
Wow.
That's the only reason why.
There's going to be some people who are going to have some things to say about that.
Listen, you have to be a comedian, a good comedian, to make that ride work.
Or a really terrible comedian.
But that's good comedy, though.
That's what I
when
mean.
you're
Like
not,
so bad that
Yeah.
it circles back to being good.
Yeah, and if you're trying too hard, it's just terrible. It makes a terrible ride.
Yeah.
That was a long walk around the block to get to
I get what you're saying.
your neighbor's house. Okay, so we're taking out Adventureland, and I'm going to put in Mantasy Island.
Mantasy Island.
Where all of the hot Disney dudes are on display.
So like Prince Eric's there. Flynn obviously
is
yep.
the king of Mantasy Island. Donald can make an appearance there.
So not a man, but
And they're all dressed as Donald, too, with no bottoms.
okay. Okay. In that Florida heat, there's gonna be some
Sagging.
Yep.
Yep. So Mantasy Island it is.
Who else is gonna make an appearance in Mantasy Island?
Prince Eric.
Yep.
The Country Bears. Kermit. Daddy Triton.
Yep. So if Daddy Triton doesn't have any bottoms on, is he just a torso and a head and arms?
Oh, I did not think this through.
Yeah, what happens then?
Well, no, because he's just a Finn. He doesn't wear pants anyways.
So he's just
what are you
as is.
thinking? Yeah,
As is.
As is. Come
Okay.
as you are. Come as you are.
I like it.
Thank you. Much better than your idea.
All right, here's my question for you, Patrick.
Okay. Hit me with your quick D.
As you mentioned in the news segment, the Haunted Mansion will be celebrating its 50th anniversary this year.
You do pay attention to me. Good job.
And there's going to be 2 nights of kind of a special party for the Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
And it was noted in the story that there's going to be special Snapchat filters that are going to be offered during the parties.
Oh, dear.
I want to know what those Snapchat filters are. What are you going to be able to do to yourself or to the background during these parties?
I mean, do I need to answer this question?
I think you do.
Okay. So the filter is going to be ghosts of all of your past relationships standing behind you and judging you. Or maybe looking longingly at you because you've broken so many hearts.
Terrifying.
That's it. I think that's all you need. That's the most haunting thing I can think of. You won't even be able to see me in it because there's going to be so many people behind me. Because I was a whore. You might have to bleep that out. Before and after marriage. Trying to fit all of them in one photo is the least quick D I can think of, too.
It's the longest D.
It is the longest D that's ever happened. And I've heard that before.
You've never heard that.
How very dare you?
That will do it for this episode of Gaze Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gazedothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gaze Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast, and submit your questions or show ideas to info@gazedothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.